G'day and welcome back to the channel, and if it's your first time joining me, I hope you enjoy this episode. We've got a forecast of 20 knots today, so I've decided to tuck into Cabbage Tree Creek, hide away from the wind and chase Dusky Flathead. Let's rip into it. The first lure for this morning, the old faithful squidgy wriggler prawn. We'll give that a crack. First cast for the morning, see how we go. The sun's just hit the horizon. It's going to be a nice clear day, just windy I think. We've got the first of the run-in tide, so at the moment I'm just fishing my way up the creek. As I pick up a fish here and there, I'll concentrate on those areas, but at the moment it's just about searching the creek, trying to find a few. I've just held our position here with the electric motor. We've got a little creek here on the side. Just going to whack a few casts in there before we keep moving up the creek. Typically a spot like this would fire on the run out tide with the water coming out of the creek, but there's no reason why there's still not some fish there. Nothing in the mouth of that drain or creek or whatever you want to call it, so we'll just keep moving up. There we go, first flathead of the day. Took a little while. That's a really nice way to kick off the session. He's a bit over 50 centimetres. Stuck with the squidgy prawn. That's my confident lure at the moment when I'm chasing flatties, and it's paid off. I'm just going to have another cast exactly where that fish came from, just in case there's a school of them there. He might have just been a lone fish, I think. That feels like an okay fish. That's actually a dewy, I think. Won't lift him in, I'll get the net underneath him, I think. Well, that's not the target species, but I'm pretty stoked with that. I'm not surprised that we caught a little school Jew this morning in Cabbage Tree Creek here. I've been watching the sounder as we're going upstream, and there's a fair bit of bait on the sounder, so where you find bait, you'll generally find these guys. As soon as I got that guy in the boat, I hit anchor lock on the electric motor, and I'll stick around here now for another 5 or 10 minutes just in case there's a few more. Yep. Don't know what this is. That was the first cast after catching that Jew, and it is the target species, it's a floodie. Not a huge fish, but he's absolutely gobbled up that little wriggle prawn down the hatch there. I'll dive in with some pliers for that and we'll get him back in the water. Let's see if I can go 3 from 3. You wouldn't know that it's blowing 20 knots outside. Up here it's actually quite nice, but when I look at the tops of the trees, it is a reminder that, yeah, it's a bit of a windy day. I'm just going to reload with a little bit of S factor after catching those couple of fish. It tends to come off after 1 or 2 fish. Before I move on from this spot, I'm just going to try a different lure. That's the little Daiwa bait junkie prawn. I just lost my first lure for the morning, so I've gone back to the same soft plastic. The only change I've made, I started with a 1/8 ounce jig head. Now that the tide's running in and it's a little bit faster the current, I've gone to a 1/4 ounce head just to get me down to the bottom a bit quicker. Found the wind around the corner there. Yeah. 2 flathead and a little school Jew so far. There's a fish. I think he actually had it in his gob. I felt a bit of a nudge. And then came up tight on him. Doesn't like the look of the net. Not one bit. That's a lovely fish out of Cabbage Tree. Just put him on the brag mat, 55 centimetres. Had some real go about it too. I just missed one then. Pretty well in the same spot where that last fish come from. There's a fish. I think I found a little patch of them here. Well, that's another lovely school Jew. He'd be about 50 centimetres, I guess. Once again on the squidgy prawn. Gonna cast straight back to where I caught that one from. Might get a few of those today. A bit of luck. Two from two casts. Same as what happened before, caught a school Jew, and then a little dusky the cast after. Reload with a little bit of S factor after catching those last few fish. That's a snag. When I came tight on that, I thought, oh yeah, this is a decent one, but nah, it's just the bottom. Oh, that was a good take. It's basically just bouncing that off the bottom. That's a nice solid fish. Another floodie. They all seem to be about that 50 centimetre mark today. Another beautiful dusky. Beautiful colours on him. Really healthy fish as well. They're in good condition this time of year. Oh, got hit on the way back up. Little dusky got off the hook. I reckon I must have jiggled that in front of his face for about 15 seconds then. And I took it away from him, he decided to eat it. We're getting close to the top of the tide now. It started to slow down a bit, so I'll give it another, I guess, 45 minutes. See how we go. Now that the current's really slowed down, what I am doing is slowing down my retrieve. It's going to snag up on a log if I'm not careful. I think a tailor just ate a bit of bait off the surface there. Let's see if we can catch him without crashing. There's a jewie. Thought it was a jewie, it's a nice flathead actually. Another nice one. They're all about the 50 centimetre mark today. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings me to the end of another episode, and I've had an absolute ball fishing up Cabbage Tree Creek today when the forecast was for 20 knots and a lot of other places would have been simply unfishable. The combo that I caught most of my fish on is a Gary Howard North Fork, 6'10", 4 to 10 pound, and matched up to it is the Shimano Stratic 2500. I've got 10 pound Daiwa braid and 10 pound fluorocarbon leader. The standout soft plastic for me this morning, not that I tried too many, is the Squidgy's prawn wriggle tail in the 95mm in the estuary prawn colour. I used a range of different weight jig heads. I started with a 1/8 ounce and then I went down to a 1/4 ounce towards the end of the day. If you've got any questions about this session, make sure that you drop a comment below, and if you're enjoying my content to stay up to date, make sure that you subscribe. I hope that you're getting out on the water with family and friends and catching a few fish, and I'll see you in the next one.